proper intro because this is like my big brother. It's my big brother, funny brother. You know what I mean? And I've known this brother for a long time, man. He really don't need no introduction. He just was on the Arsenio Hall show, and it was so funny. It was funny, so I got to tell you that because actually you told me about it when we was on the plane. And you just actually did the show, right?
Just did it.
Exactly. Well, we in the studio with my man Sabir. I mean, great say Sabir. On the Sabir Bay show with Tommy Davidson. You gonna take that one?
Yeah, I'll take that.
There you go. See, this is what I like.
I'll take that.
Let's give this brother a round of applause, man. Yo, this dude is so funny, man. And before we get started, there was I was trying to call Tommy because there was a shooting. H2O.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
nice,
what's
good shot.
You should get the one with the mineral water.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, but it was a shooting at the airport when we got on that plane.
It was
that same day.
Got lucky again.
We got lucky again, and that was so funny that took place at that particular time. And see how the creator works, man. You know, I mean, we just dodged the bullet.
Yeah, we did.
Literally,
yeah, we
dodged the bullet.
Literally.
But this brother right here, like I keep saying, this is a talented brother, and I want to get into some comedy stuff and real issues with Tommy because there was a text that I got today. We're going to talk about that, but this sister asked me. She said, "I don't want to call him. I don't want to call." See,
why?
People get like that.
Is this Tommy?
Is this Tommy?
What I'm gonna do?
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to sound stupid. I want to ask him, how do we channel? Hold on. She said, how do you channel the Sammy Davis so well, and how does your family handle your talent? This is what she said.
Well, that's very easy to channel him, babe. All I got to do is just kind of crook my mouth a bit and lean my eye to the side, babe, and I got it.
Wow, that's what it is. So how do your family take it though? Because I can just imagine how did they take that, man? Because
you know what, my family never really looked at me like anything different because I've always been like that. You know, I didn't even know that they were called impressions because I always made fun of everybody. You know, and I always could mimic everybody. It wasn't until I was about 10 years old, you know, because my mother used to say, "Can you shut all that up, please?" Because I used to, you know, be doing Al Jarreau, boom, 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 you know, just doing all this stuff. And she was like, "Can you keep that down?" And then one time she saw Al Jarreau on TV and she was like, "Do that again?"
Wow, she's seen that talent.
Yeah, she said, "Do that again." So that's something I've been doing since I can remember. Singing and dancing.
Wow.
I was dancing on a table at 4 years old with a spoon in my hand, you know, as a microphone.
When he did so well and
getting down.
Deal with MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Did it ever cause you problems, like your talent? Did it ever cause you problems though?
Yeah, well, it caused me problems in the wrong situations. I mean, you know, it's like there's a teacher in the class. You know what I mean? So, you know, I can't be getting up and doing the whole show for the class because the teacher is the performer. You know what I mean? So that's the only time I really got in trouble doing it was when I would kind of take over the class.
Oh, wow.
You know, because I always had this knack to be able to just dominate the attention. But I never saw that as like, oh, wow, I'm going to be a comedian one day or I'm going to be a performer one day. It's just something that's always been in me. You know, since the first grade. I got in the first grade and I was totally honest when I did this because I moved to Washington, D.C. in '68 when King got shot. You know, so... You know, all I saw all day was the Black Power fist all day, you know, and I came from I was a kid of the movement, you know. So when my teacher asked me to, you know, put my hand on my heart and raise your hand to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I put up the Black Power fist.
And
you know what I mean? And I got right on to the principal's office with the Black Power fist, but it's something that was already there, you know.
So even being grown, did you ever go through something like? Because I know it's a lot of jealousy in the industry. You know what I mean? You and I have some conversations now, but I know there's some type of because you talented, bro, and I know listen. I don't have to say that. It's a lot of people, and I see it in you, but I can see the jealousy in just from women. Because you be having some exotic women, dude. I ain't even gonna hold
wow.
you. Like you be having some exotic women.
Bring that up now.
You didn't bring it up. No, I'm just saying. You do. I don't say it to you when I'm with you. I'm like, this nigga, right? You know what I mean? Because people be like, well, Tommy must. Who's the girl? They're white. They say white. But I'm like, no. If you really look at them, they're not really what you refer to as white because they don't understand it.
Off white.
There you go. But they be fine as hell. You know what I mean? And I'm like. That right there, that jealousy, man, because you still are doing your thing. So how do you handle that? I mean, do you?
It came, you know, now, before I used to feel like a certain isolation from it because I never had anything anybody wanted. First of all, I thought, because when I got into, the adult world, just being a grown up out here, I was introduced to life working. I started out as an IHOP and Roy Rogers restaurant and, hotels. And so, I worked for a living. What I could do with my hands, I got paid for, And so this is the only time that I ran into, people who coveted what I had, which was now that I realized, which is talent. I didn't have any sense of competition from anybody or anything. So I didn't know anything about intrigue. I didn't know anything about, games people played and manipulation and getting over and lying to get what you want or cutting the next person's throat to get what you want, because I always got what I needed through my work, And so it hasn't been until probably the last 15, maybe 16 years that I really, really understood, that people want something from me, but that's in their mind, that's in their head, because, you can never, be denied something that the Creator got for you, you can never be denied that.
But it's like that, like the role you played in Bamboozle. It was basically almost the same what you're telling me right now. So how close was that with your real life? Like,
it was pretty close. I mean, me and Savion's character, we came from the street, and then we got success, and there was a lot of people that were after that, So,
wow.
It's just one of those things where, success is something that's self-propelled. And success is something that you create in conjunction with your Creator. It's not something that you can take from somebody else. It's something that comes from within.
Oh,
you can't convince the world of that because the world is based on that.
But
so
I'm going to say, you shared this with me you said something, and I ain't going to go into what we said on the plane together, but I want to know, because a lot of people saw these videos with you speaking, and they was like, I didn't know Tommy was like that. They was like, we didn't know he was smart like that. How do you balance the consciousness with the comic part? Like, how do you balance those two? Like, because I see some interviews, with you'll just talk about the comic stuff, but I know you from the other side too. So how do you balance those?
Well, we live in two separate worlds. I'm an entertainer. And I'm a mainstream entertainer on top of that. So, some of the ideas that I talk about are not popular ideas, So I find the right place to talk about what it is that needs to be talked about, So I tried on Dr. Phil, to talk about, they had an episode that was based on racial profiling.
Wow.
And so, but what I had to say, they edited it all out.
And this.
So it wasn't the place.
Wow.
It wasn't the place that they were open to hear that, even though they said, "Oh, it's racial profiling." The first thing I said when I got on there was, "Are we talking about racism?" Because I looked on Wikipedia and I looked in Webster's, and I didn't see any word that said racial profiling. I just saw racism. So are we talking about racism, or are we talking about racial profiling? Because there's really no definition for that. I know there's a definition for racism.
Racism, exactly.
And so from that point on in the show,
he said
they wasn't really digging. Yeah, they wasn't really digging.
It was like Exy.
They wasn't really digging it. You know what I mean? Yeah, because for me, communication is about talking about exactly what it is. Because how are you gonna convey a message to others?
Yeah.
If the message isn't simple enough for them to understand, and the way that things are understood best is putting them in their most basic text.
I got you.
And
that's why I can't be on their shows. I would have to,
there you go.
But that's why you got your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's why you got your own.
I would have to literally, this is why I learn things from these guys. Like, people think when you look at stuff on TV, like they may say, well, this person don't want to say this. No, they can't, or they edit it out. You know what I mean? It's not that they don't. It's just that they edit those things out. Let me ask you, did they edit anything out on Cineo?
No. They did edit something out on there, and I forgot what it was, but it was a joke that I had made. And they edited it out, but it wasn't a big deal.
You can tell the joke on here.
I think they just cut it off for time.
Okay, I was going to say, you can say the joke on here. You can say what you want to say on here. This is why I love about this.
But I would never in an Arsenio interview share some of the things that I would share here, because first of all, the audience here, it's essential that they hear what I have to share.
Exactly.
Correct.
If they're listening, then they need it.
Exactly.
And so, why cast my pearl to swine? If I'm on Arsenio, it's about the jokes, it's about entertainment, it's a business.
You got to flip and make it edutainment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Edutainment.
Yeah, you said that to me before. I'm waiting for that show, by the way.
No, it's here. It's right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
It's here.
Welcome.
But I would like to do something like really
Right?
Yeah, I would like to do something really on that part, like and it's not even my words. That's KRS One.
Right.
KRS One came up with that word, edutainment. It means educational and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it, and then when you ever sit with him, he actually will give you a breakdown of words also, etymology, entertain your mentality. That's what it really means.
Right.
So we need to flip those two, together to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said I learn a lot from you, whether you know it or not. I learn a lot of things.
Oh, man, thank
you
you,
know.
bro.
And actually, there was another sister actually wanted to ask a question about growing up in D.C. with politics when you were young.
Right.
How did you view politics, man?
Well, it's funny because I always had my own. I had my own education when it comes to politics. So I happened to grow up in a city where it's just like Hollywood. They make movies here. In Wisconsin, they make cheese.
They do?
Yeah, that's the milk. The dairy country is in Pennsylvania, so that's where they do that. And Nebraska's corn country. You know what I mean? So I just happened to grow up in a area where politics was the thing of the day. But me personally, thanks to my family.
Okay.
Have a lot more insight on politics than the average person.
Yeah, this dude is sharp. I don't know. I don't want to keep saying this, y'all.
Yeah.
He's sharp as hell,
So
y'all.
my mom and my uncle were part of the Workers' World Party. Back in the late '60s, early '70s. She was a civil rights worker. So I got a lot of versing on what communism was about, what capitalism was about, what union was about, what workers were about, how the military complex affected economy, what economy meant, how putting things in more of a global text and more of a broad social text, as opposed to just looking at things as just some red-blooded American, but looking at things from more of a global text.
I got you.
And that's what I actually came into my own mental scope with a lot of good rudiments.
Okay.
So I understood the Russian Revolution. I understood, the African revolutions. I understood the demise of the Native American people. I understood slavery. I understood, workers' movements, migrant workers' movements with Cesar Chavez. I understood all that stuff really, really early in life.
Okay.
So that stuff was already instilled in me. There's politics.
Politics.
Yeah. and then there's reality.
Gotcha.
Then there's reality.
Yo, let me ask you. Did you see the movie 12 Years a Slave?
I just saw it.
Your thoughts?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, right? Most people would get upset at that movie, but it was done. I love it better than Django. And what was?
Well, I didn't see Django.
You didn't see Django?
I didn't see Django.
Wow.
No, I didn't see Django. Might be a long time before I see that one. For my own personal reasons, but
I already know, bro. I already know.
But the thing about 12 Years a Slave is the reason why I dug it the most is it's put in its proper historical context.
Exactly.
Whereas Django is fiction.
Exactly.
Django is fiction. so I rather deal with reality than fiction, and especially when it comes to slavery. Because slavery is one of the major issues, or one of the major realities that Africans worldwide have to, and this is subjective, have to understand in order to know where we need to go.
Yeah, a lot of people was upset because they kept saying they tired of these slave movies, and I'm like, well, why don't you?
Well, which
help?
ones?
They talking about all of these.
Name but two.
Well, yeah, but it's all the time. But I'm like, why don't we put some money up and let's get some writers, or have a writer like you or somebody, and let's do a movie besides slavery. We can mix that up, because now in Texas they're saying that they're not even going to use the word slaves no more. Like being enslaved, they're going to call them unpaid servants or something like that now. Because once Texas says something's the law in his school, it's the law. So now they're going to be calling it unpaid servants or something like that. Like you can't use the word slavery or is enslaved anymore. So
as if it changes it.
Exactly. Right. But look at the conditioning that they're doing over the years. You know what I mean? When children grow up behind us, and they ain't going to know nothing about it unless we teach that. So we need to have film.
And it's up to us to teach that. You know, there's always going to be an attempt by the power structure to move us away from our core history, because the more that we understand our core history, the clearer path that we can cut for ourselves. You know, so it's understanding the potato famine, understanding, you know, the oppression by the British to the Irish, that the Irish understood their situation. You know, or the Protestants, or any other European groups, the thing that they understand most is what happened to them, so that they understand where they need to go from there. The Jewish community understands exactly what happened to them, so they know where to go from there. We're the only group, Africans are the only group that has had its history fogged and given to us in pieces. You know, that's why this is a really good time for us, because you know we have professors and professionals who are African, that have done the homework and done the research and have the information for us at our disposal. So this is a really, really good time.
It is very good time. Actually, let me ask you this. I have to put this out there because people would text me, asking me about the hidden Living Colors, man. The Living Colors. Is there going to be a reunion of Living Colors, or? Because I seen Keenan's piece. I seen him when he talked about it. He's not going to do it that way anymore. Because that, you know, that's a landmark. That's a history piece right there. You know that, right?
Oh,
nobody can never do that again.
Of course.
So people are asking, will there ever be a Living Colors reunion or another Living Colors, man?
You know what? I don't know the answer to that question. I know it came really close that we were going to do it. You know, we came close to us doing it, and you know, I actually talked to Keenan himself, and he said, well, I couldn't do it because I just couldn't find a group of guys and girls like you guys.
I can't.
You know, which was a compliment. I was like, okay.
You can't. I'm
okay,
dead serious.
cool.
You can't.